nothing really.
Here we go, straight into this. We've got Bind, Anything Wild, Angel on Gecko. Angel on Gecko, Artist on KO. No solo Viper, a little bit disappointed in that, but here we are.
One team actually going in, having
Couldn't
themselves
resist
that
chat.
double in terms of a Breach and a Sky, and the others coming in with the Gecko and the KO. And it is going to be a huge difference in the manner in which they play. I've been loving seeing the sort of double flashes, or even in Foot's position, they had the triple flashes as they were running an Omen as well. But the Brimmy has been a competent bind pick for a long time, and a lot of these teams are going to have some pretty impressive afterplants.
How about the recordings? Yeah, a little bit wrecked.
Navi,
I mean, we're uploading map 1 of GEZ now.
Molotovs and grenades that you could just yeet
Kind of
onto
worked
the
out,
spike
right?
for the entirety of the round. So I think we're going to have a fun match here. I kind of want to ask you about your expectations, though, because I think you go into this match with a team that, even though they didn't have the best year, still made it to the international events, and a team that ultimately, okay, they didn't finish last, but they finished close to last. They were in that bottom tier. So do you think BBL can actually come in? Because thus far, this event, it's been kind of upset so far.
Expectations, I think, certainly at home will be that Navi are the favorite. I think that a lot of people realize, you know, it's not even about Navi shaky starts, it's the BBL fresh roster, bunch of very experienced players though across the board. Someone like Bora, who's been down in the trenches
to another
for quite a
bind.
while. They're bringing something new to the table, and you never can underestimate that.
What a BBL playing?
Backstage just saying during this offseason, all the changes, there is just no way to put these teams. Sure, you're always going to have a community metric, but
I'm in for it.
That's a fan favorite
Change
as opposed to a realistic metric we can draw from. It's time to kick this one off and find out what's going to happen on the server as Navi and BBL starts out on Bind. Barriers up and a slow start from the side of Navi.
Ooh, slow start. Do I have time to change the tile?
Yeah, of course. One of the things you really can do with
BBL on
this
defense, Navi on attack,
and
I'll
try and force people off the angles. You can, a lot of the time, retrieve that flash.
Bit of info, but nothing too much. You know this guy's always going to be over there normally.
But he has managed to retrieve that. Not really going to lose anything too
Sugetsu,
valuable early in
attack
these rounds. So
Viper.
it was just setting up for this initial take.
Gets a Sheriff.
I think Angel's shift from the sky makes
Brave.
sense, right? When you're seeing that
One
flash
more
can still be
smoke
taken, used
with,
again, and you can then breathe
Frenzy.
out the round like that. The curious swap, I guess, from BBL to quickly mention was Pora and Reezy just flipping agents. I wonder if that's a comfort thing. We'll see how that develops as time goes on.
Is their plan
Now,
literally to
with
let
50
them
seconds left
plant,
on
smoke
clock,
the
Navi
spike, and
very
then
much tunnel visioned in. We're looking like an A
and then
push is
fast
about to come
defuse?
through. Viper utility already bypassed as they make their way towards the A site. Some space to be taken, but look how many players are still here, tucked in the back corners. These are angles that you have to clear.
Oh my, well,
and if not,
get punched for trying to clear that one. And I feel like this smoke's coming down on the spike here.
Forcing Zipvan out of position.
Oh no, it's over towards Showers already.
Left with it all to recover. And Artist does well to find the first, but the utility blocking him off. The shots coming his way, and the defuse already happening under their nose. There is no way to deny this.
Lovely round.
Truly in BBL's hands.
Yeah, great start for them as well. Again,
and this is kind of a good prime example where a lot of times it is a little bit risky trying to pick up those orbs. I know that some people are always like, damn, people don't always pick up the orbs, but man, it's a risk sometimes.
Sort of experience
and when you can seal the info, I think it's easy to say like they can pick up this orb, but sometimes it costs you big rounds like this. This one was a little bit of a risk.
From Heretics yesterday, which we see in this sort of regard as well, fighting as a pack. I feel like that is something, especially in these early matchups, is just even just trading effectively and going back to something a little bit more simplistic can actually work out wonderfully for you.
Yeah, I did like the fact that for Navi, it's not like they left the corner wide open, right? Shao does clear it, but just a little bit too slow on the aim duel. Turkish aim, always something we're going to talk about, and here it's already on display. On Ascent, yeah. Next map up, of course it's BBL's map pick. There have been a few teams that have historically been foolish enough to pick Ascent into a Turkish team.
Okay, where are we?
Got the comeuppance most of the time.
Solo Outlaw, Heavy Armor, so we're just going to be taking turns with the Attack Outlaw, and I think this is a normal good idea because a lot of people do heavy prioritize, yeah, they do heavy prioritize a lot of light armor and heavy guns, like better guns.
The player known for his,
yeah, we have a few players that can tank this a little bit. Not too bad with it. Kind of like this.
Yeah.
An outlaw.
Look, I don't know what Angel's been cooking in the off-season, but this guy's obviously been practicing this.
I think this makes sense, but you would just anti them again. Like the Outlaw is just the anti-gun for sure. You would just make sure you buy heavy armor.
Their upper, not ours.
There is only literally 2 people that he can one-shot. That's a lovely shot.
Nice shot. So gets his head ripped clean off. And look, a lot of the guys are running light shields here, but it's mostly classics.
Not too bad on this one as well in terms of Xiao. We get the plant down. We have literally no util. Xiao has one more smoke.
BBL. They just have to bide their time. These smokes will fade, and then they'll get much more open angles. But that's where Angel
I can turn
might
down a
be
bit.
able to cleave some value out of this round and find a position to fight from. Good right click. Look, 10 damage is all they need to do to make it a one-shot. Angel capitalizes on the damage done. Poor is already down, but
not too bad. Not too bad in terms of the damage.
A little bit of chip damage. I was hoping for so much more out of
Yeah,
Angel's
and I
outlaw,
think,
but
I mean,
we'll
they
see
basically
again, I'm sure.
took a risk.
Well, I wonder
They
if we
basically
might
took
see
a
it
risk
again
in the fact that
immediately, because
a
I'm
lot
just
of
starting
teams
to
that they were
look at
playing
the
in
credits
probably
now on the
heavy
side of
prioritized like
Navi,
Vandals and
obviously
stuff.
the trade-off of him investing
So
that and giving
trying
Angel
to,
that extra little
I
bit
guess it had been
is the
working in
fact that
practice
now
that most
Ardis is
teams have
coming
been
into the
buying
round
light
with
armor, and I
some
think any other
severely
team, it
reduced
probably would have
credits,
worked,
so
but
he's gonna actually be left.
BBL had like 3
Wow.
heavy armors.
Yeah,
Because he can't even afford. He can't even afford light shields. And
So yeah,
the
Ardis,
outlaw,
dude,
you know,
Ardis
an
takes the hit.
expensive enough utility belt, and he's been burning
Ardis
them up,
enabling
so
the star
obviously,
player.
As well with Angel's flash, it's going to be a large
So
period
good.
of time where you don't have those flashes while you're retaking the space to
Bro,
get the
I
flash
know
to then regen
Ardis
it back up. This
hates
means
that
Ardis
strat.
has to use his utility when they're clearing
Ardis
these
must
corners. It's
absolutely
expensive,
hate
runs down
that
your economy,
strat.
But I really don't mind this for Navi. It was a good idea to have that outlaw.
The fact
to
that
give
he
them a
has to
chance in
drop
the
it is
previous
so
round.
funny.
Hasn't worked out, and the downside is they've got one weaker weapon. They can play around that just fine, especially when it's the player that's lobbing those flashes.
Yushina on defense, picking up a lot of kills, mean that he gets his all out early. So we've got gun disadvantage. Actually, well, gun advantage still, but
I love the fact that the majority of
the
the
ult
duels
is
you'll
scary.
see, he's facing first and Zipad's following in second. It feels so incredibly backwards.
Oh, that's
I love
kind of
the
nice
utility
though.
being
Yeah,
used
yeah,
here
that's
by
nice. If
BBL.
that's a different agent than a raise,
Forcing him
that's
into
probably a
position
kill.
where
Stun with
he's
the
clearly
molly.
worried about being pressured
BBL
from
got some
the
good
starter,
stuff on this.
Zipan has to just give up, and that was the early portion of this round for Navi. Was okay. I want to take some map control in hookah. Well,
Oh,
they're gonna
boy.
have to do it again, except half the time's gone.
It was nice avoiding the molly. Not taking that
Timing of
damage,
this guy
still
looks
able
good.
to
3.
fight two players in towards
It's
hookah,
out of
but
there,
it's gonna be
Stimmy, to
tough.
get him out of there as well.
Three on site with a Viper ball
Lovely.
just
Dude, the
about to
breach
go
at the
up,
moment,
slowing utility
looking
in play
great.
as well. This is just making them a little bit more discombobulated
Dubra goes
on
in
the
for
way
the
through.
plant.
Flash,
Oh no, it
bring
wasn't
that
it.
in first to
Just
try
a
and
distraction.
some more extra information. Good kills. Angel on another, and with Xiao backing him up, this is looking
Yeah,
clean.
Angel and Xiao
They
just
pushed into a three-man
dueling
side
out
with
here.
Viper utility
And
backing it up.
the
They
Razor
made it
came
look
out.
easy.
Oh, hey, maybe they're giving Angel the rifle because he's the one who's actually going to be fragging. We saw Boo just
Yeah, I'm telling you, the star player.
had been clearly on the aim labs for the entirety of the off-season. Little bro going to be
How's he that
sacrificed.
tanky? That was nuts.
As Elite is the last
Second
man
shot, I guess,
standing.
missed.
Stuck in a corner. Still a nice shot onto Angel. But the
Still
guns are gonna be
pretty
retrieved
good
and Navi,
damage.
They're going to have their first round onto the board.
Still pretty good damage. 2
Nicely
kills
done. I
means
think
that
they
we
were
have a
in
big swing
prime
round here.
position, having made it through. I was worried with so many players there. That's where your weaker weapons, your pistols, can really get that value. But they dealt with it very nicely, even avoiding ultimates along the way. Couldn't have went much better for them realistically, setting Navi up for a round 4 where they are
Angel
neck and neck in terms
gets
of the
his
hardware
ult.
and
Whose
also
timeout is
the
this?
economy. And maybe even a
No,
slight
nothing.
edge
Okay,
to the
Angel has
economy
ult
on
with the
Navi's
death
side,
there as
but
well.
they'll have something to work with next
what
round,
else?
but whoever
Nothing.
takes this probably goes
Breach.
on a little run for a few rounds.
Breach kind of close.
I think the only thing that might be interesting for the side of
Like we
BBL
said, they're the
is
two that can't buy next, and
trying
obviously
to
everyone
get
here can't.
Is online, the stun, it hasn't
And they
connected. It's
decide
been
to
avoided
go
completely,
aggro.
but
This is a real old
is
school
gonna be
strat,
elite
kind
able
of
to
similar
get
to Vision Strikers used to
trade.
do this back in the
Try
day.
peek into Pora,
with the
that's
breach.
not something I'd like to do. Still
Something
got that
similar.
crisp
Smoke
aim
off
to
this, flash
give them
dash.
the
But
advantage, a little bit of a risk taken by Navi and Angel, and well, he was actually the one with his ultimate online, so he actually
Lovely
had something
shot.
that easily could have cleared that angle.
And with him out of the running, we've ended up pretty
We got a
negative, but the
breach
map
damage
control's
to
the
stop
real
this
problem.
plant.
BBL blocked out. Oh, they are able to delay that plant a little bit. That's allowing
Ooh.
some reinforcements, some damage done onto Zipan.
Yeah, he took a
This is starting to look a
hit.
little better than before. BBL have at least got some control. That nade, though,
done.
push them out.
Dude, I'm so surprised he didn't pop his ult
Splits
there.
them, but no real after effect for it. Zipan flashed as he tries to use his ultimate, but oh no! He's missed the shot.
The team flash from Ardis, and then the self ult. Oh boy. Oh man, this whole round is so done, bro. This whole round is so cursed. The team flash into the self ult. into no one checking the corner, into the spam missing. Oh, man.
Kill yourself and then die completely to a Molotov. Okay, the second one actually wasn't a bad play at all,
look,
from honest. It was the smartest thing he could do, but it's just so brutal. And,
no.
I think Zipan's going to want to forget that one.
Dude, we got to see half a second of the Navi coaches there, but that was incredible.
Shaky. Now, bear in mind, Xiao won off his ultimate as well. So there are a few things that could potentially pad the gap here, and you can see he's already going to be challenged. Sagetsu, basically
Sagetsu, yeah, and he's... But I still like this. There's two people that don't have guns, and he just has had enough.
Well, the rest of BBL are going to be looking to
Lovely molly. Oh boy, they might have to... Yeah, dude, he tanked it. And 65 as well on Pora.
This is looking rough, and in fact, well, one by one, we're witnessing
the Sagetsu show on this.
And it gets even worse.
Sagetsu and Xiao show.
On the way through, and Bathrooms picked up the orb, so they even have the orbital strike online. There's just so many ways that they could fall back into a safety net in this round. I think BBL, they were hurting the second they lost that opening duel, really.
Oh, man.
Blink and you miss it.
Opening duel.
That other round was still so good. Absolute nightmare for BBL, to be honest with you.
Maybe you put your orb up, or you put your wall up.
Money
no, you put the
is
wall up
not
so that
here.
if someone swings you,
You're 1,000 on this, we can't drop.
Yeah.
1-9 for everyone else. This guy can buy something okay.
I reckon I can take him on. And the fact is, okay, in terms of our league, in terms of individual skill, he is right near the top. That guy who loves his tracker stats probably
The definition of a hero gun? Yeah, this is good from him. I mean,
I bet he does.
he's just a legit
probably
player.
doesn't like me very much, but that's...
Probably doesn't like Angel very much.
Oh, dear, yeah.
Well,
but you know what I heard from, I was talking to Milan, he actually said, he was saying this to Steel, that your peak physically is 35 years old, so Angel's not even at his peak yet.
I'm not sure the stats back that up, though.
No, well, I think his peak in maybe your physique.
Right, yeah. Video game reaction time might be a little bit
not
of a
my
different
stats,
metric.
Milan, blame Milan.
We'll call it into question later. We'll get him on the
Maybe
desk.
Pipson told him that one.
It could be.
How can KO be viable on Bind? You gotta have another initiator with it, but...
You've had a timeout called for BBL, a responsible one. They
The
lose
knife's
one
good.
round,
The flash is
and
good.
they're saying, hey, let's get back on this. Realistically, round 4, you know, they were definitely throwing a lifeline with Zipan, having a little bit of an oopsie, firing in.
Past my prime? Yeah, for
I'm just
sure.
looking at BBL's coach. He's just drawing a circle. It's a nice little calming technique. I might try that sometime. But
Alright, BBL. Do a timeout on this eco
get the speed down.
and work out what
But
to
no, the
do.
fact that round 4
Maybe
wasn't exactly like
free a
entirely their
util
game plan
usage
working.
after they
5
just
has
see
some issues,
Sagetsu completely
lose 3.
disrespect
I get why
short
they're coming
and
in,
just walk up.
calling upon this early.
A dude walked down mid and wrecked their whole defense.
Some issues. Some issues. You know, you probably want to be winning those duels, but I don't know there's too much they can discuss about. Yeah, guys, try aim better. It's not really a strat, per se. But with the timeout coming to an end, BBL 1 round ahead, let's take stock of what they've got. Rolling Thunder close to getting some ultimates online. Not that it's easy to farm Braver Elites, but they, you know, because they need 2 orbs. But they might be able to find something, especially if duels go their way. Could be a late round play.
2 hero guns.
Navi, that
3
orbital
classics.
strike, dangerous. Artist one away as well. They could remove the utility, make it much easier to push into BBL. And
Next big
considering
Byron's going to be
BBL
a
looking for a lot of
bit of a
reactive
nightmare.
plays, utility-wise, that could help out a ton in terms of seizing that site.
Again, we're seeing the Dizzy used just to try and claim this control. Now, we've already witnessed it once in this half, but BBL fairly happy to try and use the Breach util to fight back for this position. Move Zipan out of this spot. I wonder if we're going to witness the same thing once again. Very patient.
And this is good from Navi, just like a slow, just a slow default. They know again that you look at this comp, they have no sentinel.
Worries in their head of going, okay, we've got to be wary.
They have no sentinel, so they need to make sure that they hold a default and punish any kind of push early on.
But that stun just being held, and bear in mind there's still a rolling thunder.
The nice molly.
Solid molly keeps back any reinforcements. Reezy has a tough task on hand. Zipan swinging around the blind side. And a shot through the smoke from Angel. That was a wild spam that just took down a lead.
It's a nice
so you're
exec.
missing so much utility. That was their vital.
It's cool.
ball
The
to
spawn molly
potentially
goes like
allow them back
here.
through.
So if you,
Cut
it's
off
basically
these
if
attackers
you
now. Navi have
heavy
their pick of
commit.
post
Like I'm not
plants
even
with
sure you can
orbital
see it in the
strike.
smoke.
There's no
If you heavy
real
commit
worry.
to sight, you're
Only
just going to
one
get
rifle
melted, and the
hand.
same
It's
thing if you're like
Kushner
leaving
X,
sight
who
as well.
has to do all the heavy lifting. He's done well on the first, and Sagetsu's tag. They need to be careful indeed. A weapon
Yeah,
to be
they got
retrieved
double
from Bora, but the
guns.
time
Oh,
too
one
low.
gun.
With Kushner down, this one's starting to feel like it's done. Especially
He's
with
not
the
getting
orbital
out of
strike
here,
bang.
but
You know this round is not going your
that'll
way.
do.
Question mark?
It can't be one, but he could do a lot.
That'll do. One more?
This
Almost. Great damage from him.
Few shots from Pora, making things costly. Again, the economy is very good. In fact, every single member of Navi goes down to basically just 2 players. And the thing is, that wasn't an investment. That was 2 save guns, and then just everyone else just full ecoed. So they now come in with some extra orbs. Nearly all of the ults actually getting fairly close to being online. That was very costly for Navi. And that's the thing. They've had a few moments where it's just looked a little bit shaky. Maybe just the first game jitters. I think we can give that to both teams getting back on this stage again. And I guess something we haven't spoken about because it's such a sort of hot topic overall, I think, has been covered profusely. Artis is back.
Yes.
He's back. It's good to see
It
him.
is good to see him on the EMEA stage where he belongs.
Yeah. Hopefully he won't lose to Billy this year.
Another, damn, bro. Another big buy round.
Hopefully they
For
get to be able to
BBL.
actually play them.
If they lose this, they can't buy next.
Here. BBL have already shown that pound for pound they can take these fights. Round 5, not so much, but other
Lovely
than that,
Boombot's a nice flash to enable this. And
zip and sniped out of the sky, and too quickly for any trades to follow through. Brave does well to
oh
drop
man,
hardest.
we actually did really good here.
They've got to get out to the
2?
body. They've got to clear all these defender bodies in the way. Rolling Thunder still cashed in online, not needed.
Should be too hard this one. Pora played very well during this. I think Pora did great, and honestly Riazi did good as well, just staying alive. I liked how they played this, just close. Yeah, so I've actually not really seen teams play like this too much. It will get wrecked by like a long pop flash, but when you're trying to exec heavy through hookah, this is actually a pretty cool setup with just like 2 close long to the wall and 1 underneath hookah. It's strong. Yeah, and this guy's just getting info here. And he's kind of playing anti, so he can just swing out as well. Is the flash, and then he can join his team. Navi will look at this probably though, and just start going heavy along once they want to exec out over towards B.
Viper's pit right away. No real chance for Navi to push through that. I mean, it's such a deep pit.
Good news is for BBL, only 2 of them died in that round, so their money's getting a little bit better. Still not fully there. We've got 3 people that can't buy, 2 people that can't buy next in terms of BBL, so massive swing round. 4 ults for BBL.
Now, after the pit's been down, shifting their focus to the B site, looking to seize some control of long. Angel should be able to get that flashback nice and easy.
Yeah, it's one of the better flashes, this one.
It's a free little bit of utility for him to confirm there's no one in the close corners, and he can focus his crosshair on the site. This is where there's a few players waiting, and most importantly, that wall. That's just going to keep them way back. Oh, it's gone down.
Yeah.
So they have a small gap,
and we kind of
but
see
they're not quite
the
ready yet. Spike's still making its
instant
way.
reaction
Shao
to
there
what
with
went
the
on.
smokes.
Just
Most
way
importantly,
heavy
Shao with
exec
the
from
orbital
long
strike.
on this one. Realizing that they need to right-click a flash at least. Breach ult. So Molly goes over towards site,
Nice
insta
kill by
breach
Pora.
ult.
That's Artis
Yeah,
down.
this
He's
is good. They
stood
got the
inside
sound
of a
cues from all
volley
the
and a
util that
snake
was
bite just to
flooded
get
in.
that done. Evading death, 34 HP. He'll just about be able to keep himself alive for a future combat. They're watching for a flank right now, but with a Viper's pit down, there's no need for BBL to go on flanks. They've got A pretty much on lock.
Yeah,
They've
they
left
stopped the
back room
hit, and then
open.
what do we got
That's
for a
certainly
next
gonna
hit?
be
We got
a worry in the next couple seconds.
Gecko
It doesn't
flash
look
for the
like
next
Navi
hit.
have any intention of going elsewhere.
15 seconds.
They've got so little time. Look how many people are on the site. 4 sat here waiting. This looks like it should
My God,
be possible.
he's still planting.
Spike is being planted.
Okay, now they
Lowbro
stopped
giving
the
it a
plant.
go, but now they have completely run out of
Respect,
time.
respect to
Still
BBL there.
fighting.
No one
It is a
panicking too
solid
much, and
hold
everyone
once
just
again.
letting
These
Wingman just
gambles
do his thing while they
facing off for
try
BBL, and I wonder if
and
there's
not
now
get
just gonna be that
distracted.
same sort of brute force pressure being thrown
BBL,
in. Again,
BBL are
though,
looking good. I
you have to
really
start
like how they're
looking
playing
towards
B.
those finances. Like, there is
I do think
not
that
a
the
hell of a lot, especially
KO
if
can
you
just
look
pop
towards
flash a
some
lot of the
lower
time.
players
Like, so
over
at the
on
moment,
Navi,
in
it's
terms
not
of
really
what would work
available
from an outside
for
perspective,
them
and
to
it's
get
like very
by
easy
this
to say when
round.
I can
think
watch
the
it all
main
from
thing
here,
should,
but
or maybe will
just
sort
a
of
contact
help them a
KO
little
flash
bit
through this
is
wall would
the
work
ults,
really well with
because
how they're
they're
playing.
actually doing pretty
Because
well
at the
in that sort of
moment, they
scenario.
play close
Got
onto
themselves an
hookah, they
orbital
play close
strike
over
as well.
towards
As
long,
you can see,
and then they just
within the screen, that's a
using
beautiful
the
circle.
sound of the util that gets
Excellent.
set in
Excellent.
terms of the
Very
execs and just using
Yes, that's
their
what
own
the
mollies.
said. And
So,
the A site, two
a pop
players
flash
stacked
through long
up
at the
against
moment
your
would work
Viper,
perfect.
But again, we're seeing that same
But
utility, that same wall put
it's a
time
lot
and time
easier for me
again.
to say when I'm
The
not
reason that they're putting
just
it, though, is to
watching one
fight in the
POV
backroom, or
instead
at
of
least
both
deny that
POVs.
control, but the control wasn't denied. Angel had snuck up, yet the
Classic
first few
Angel,
shots don't
but they get the
land,
Angel
and
first death buff.
quickly
Let's see if it still
BBL are able to
exists.
punish that. Now you're losing out on some of that initiating utility, but they still have quite a lot to fall back on. The problem here is weaponry.
This is sort of the classic Angel. It's like he's playing what we've seen from most people as a support agent, and he's not playing it like that at all. He is using it as a quasi-duelist. I'm going to pop flash for myself, and I'm going to go facing into these angles. And I'll be honest, it's not been working amazingly well.
It really hasn't. I think at the
moment, in the past it's actually been okay. Shots, you know? Somehow his team always clutches it out.
Not looking your way, but a very tight angle to fire back on. A risk worth taking, but the reward not found. And now we look towards the side of it.
I'm telling you, it's the fast death buff into a 3-on-3, massive Brim ult. Make sure they can't flood out when they tap the plant.
That's about it. Quite a defensive, a turtling one. And in fact,
I think we're just waiting for a molly here. That is gonna, yeah, that's good. 20 seconds, they stop the plant.
Players are getting close. They can even start to spam.
Oh man, we could spam this.
Oh, that's very close, but it is put down on the
Segetsu though.
Just about. Damage through the pit is massive. Segetsu on 49, Artis on 77, and down goes the pit. Artis has to do it alone. It's only a 1v2 though. A very winnable fight for this man. We've seen him do it many times in the past. The players he's up against, Pora and Reezy, they're hitting their shots, they're looking good, and combining together the stun.
Oh my goodness, the lineup. That was close.
But Reezy gets the clutch.
That was close. Considering the 4v5, that got pretty scary. Big win for BBL though. Brim ult.
Yeah, it definitely
Viper
is a map again where a lot of the time we'll talk about
Any
the
other ult?
defensive side being that favored of the two, but I feel like there's been a lot of opportunities that Navi could have capitalized on.
That shot was outrageous to make it durable.
Well to sort of pull back a lot of these retakes, and that's the thing. I feel like their B site hold has been fantastic, and then their A site retakes have been very good, other than when Segetsu just slammed them. So they have put themselves in a fantastic position, and already we're going to be getting ourselves a
Navi timeout.
As well.
Angel.
Making his way back to the
Don't solo push. I know Segetsu did it, but maybe not.
He's 13
maybe not you.
He is having a lights out game.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, what a return to the EMEA stage for this man. 13-6, 1 assist. I mean, he's just doing all the work himself. You really can't complain. For Navi, well, they certainly can. 3 rounds here on the attack. It's starting to feel like deja vu. Last season, a tough start, losing out to Koi, a team that didn't really do much damage as the season went on. And we had our questions. But Navi bounced back, as always, as they literally always do. But they're hoping to avoid a slow start here. I mean,
it's a very nice start from BBL.
There have been so many changes to these other teams. There's no such thing.
And they have their favorite map next, or at least the old squad's favorite map.
So again, we're going to see this early Viper screen placed down. And I'm more so just looking at this man here. It's going to be that aggressive push from
Kushner gets his op out. So some of these rounds have been pretty close, right? So we got to bear in mind that honestly, just one loss for BBL would put them on an eco.
Still going for that stack up, but hasn't really found anything. I mean, bear in mind, they've already spotted a couple of rounds ago with the Tiger. The Xiao was lurking outside of this position, so he's very happy to just wait and hold on to this control. And Xiao looking like he might be about to walk straight into the trap.
You know, there's a good chance that Navi decide to initiate, well, obviously with the flash there, but having Thrash,
and Angel's taking all the risks there. The same thing with the stun. This time we have a molly that's a little bit further back.
Flash being taken back, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and there's a real duel and fight for Hookah, and I love this as well. They flash over towards long, and they put the smoke down, and they clear all of this. This should mean that we can have a rotate coming in, but we have such early info that they don't want to do it. Do people buy TP so they can fast flood over towards showers off this contact if they want to? Skydog goes down towards long, clears everything. Breach rotates.
This could be perfect. I imagine it's going to get shot or almost immediately, and it doesn't matter. Kushner is going to land it anyway. An instant TP, but a trade out, and Elite's going to land the shot as well.
What?
Zipan 2 out of 2 of
the insta TP happened, so he wanted to get out of his ult.
But Segetsu is making sure that BBL struggle with side control. Plant still not down. 17 seconds left, but it doesn't look like there's any further contention with Brave down. Smokes are out of the question. It's going to cause problems.
Yeah, insta TP happened, so he knew he was going to get shot in the side. 2v3.
A fantastic kill for this man. So he can now buy them a little bit more space to cross over, and he spotted both players, but that information came with a very heavy cost. Price tag more than they were willing to pay, with Reezy now having to try a defuse under the nose of 2 players. This just isn't looking good. Xiao still has a molly, but a post plant is not needed. Not with time this low. Instead, they will face and wow.
Oh, he got a shot off there as well. Yeah, and
But it worked out.
you can tell they're arguing there a little bit. They're not on the same page.
No, he has been one of
It
the more
got
consistent
close,
so
but
far in this
luckily
game.
once they saw the swing,
Even
they
still,
swung
though,
with it.
a close round and one that actually again leaves the economy of both teams sort of on the brink. More so for BBL, even though they managed
force
to
them
win
down
3
to an
rounds
eco,
in a
though.
row, they were close, and thus it means that well, you got a showstopper still, save from the previous round. But by the looks of it, it may only be a singular rifle here. Now, if Navi can grind back a couple of rounds, this ends 6-6. You're looking at a very good half. So for the side of BBL, it's a must that they do some damage here.
I'll be looking for even more than just damage, but take a look at the mini-map. Just one player on the A site.
Okay, deep smokes over towards the site. Kushner's on an island, does have his ult, is an eco.
And it looks like that decision is being made, and a player was spotted, but the shot lands on top of the box. Navi have got a team kill under their belt. This time it wasn't Zipan going down, it was Angel, but look, it seems recoverable.
Oh my.
Somewhat. Just 2 players left, damage across the board, though BBL making it insanely competitive.
It's kind of doable.
Xiao just 1 hit to this
Oh my god, it's so doable.
1v2
into 1v1, he has his ult. He's so using his ult.
He knows that TP was pulled in just moments ago. Does he sprint in? Once he hears it's planted, that ult
Wow, I'm
might come into
surprised he
play.
didn't send it.
But no.
Molly goes in.
Snake by
Okay,
kicking
now
him out, it's a good
Tagetsu
thing, too.
can
He's just
literally be
65
anywhere.
HP.
Don't
Can't
you
afford
dare.
to lose
Don't
too
you
much.
dare.
There's the peek and the shot.
Oh boy, this one backfired a little bit.
Pura
Pura 1v2.
them in so many rounds, but not this time.
Yeah, and
7 for
Navi,
BBL.
Yeah, it seems like those were the
Navi,
sort of
it's
2
not
players you want
looking
individually to take that fight.
too
You can
convincing with
understand
a lot of this.
The confidence in the Red Bull clutch from Sagetsu's. I think everybody most
Forrest
games,
is feeling himself,
man.
man.
Let's know exactly where
Tanked
it is.
an ult, tanked the molly.
The fact is, though, it's maybe that molly kill. What did it cost? Everything. Everything.
Did he make noise? Nah, it's literally just Pura just knowing molly here. This is a possibility.
A man coming in that you don't necessarily expect to be right at the top of that board, playing more supportive roles. Pura is doing exactly the same. 16 and 7.
Rupa.
Lights out performance.
Rupa with the prime. Thank you so much.
No, he didn't. That was the crux of it for me. I'm thinking the whole time, when is he going to use it? Where is he going to use it? Instead, he sits down, takes the headshot angle, and goes, he's going to peek me. And rightfully so. Sagetsu's had a good game so far.
Yeah, and it's like the chemistry's off for some of the players that have been playing together for a long time, which is interesting.
Instead, they're guaranteed to be behind moving into the next
They
half.
are not on the same page in quite a few situations we've seen.
Round to close this out. They've already seen that it's an A hit. They haven't got players that close by. Elite might even fade back into the smoke with the utility in play, but Kushner's
I can't believe they don't clear this corner again. They don't clear this corner in pistol. They don't clear this corner again.
He's coming around the back, taking every fight, and with Sagetsu low, 70 HP.
Oh my god, it's so unlucky. 3 HP, bro. Sagetsu must be pretty stressed at the moment because he is doing work and somehow they're not getting rounds.
That was truly ridiculous. The shots that are being hit by Sagetsu.
3, man, that was so doable.
That man lives in the aim lab, but even still, fantastic half for BBL. As said, so far, this tournament has been the tournament of underdogs. We had Giants and Foot, 2 of our sort of like top 4 last year, going down to have to face each other in a lower bracket. Navi, obviously another team that was up there last year.
That's so funny.
If it keeps going like this, they might be about to
Okay, let's check in with some of the scores. Pura, the IGL, 16 to 8. Aldis, 5 to 11 with 12 assists though. Xiao's at the top. What's Sagetsu would be at the top? Angel in the mids, Riaz in the mids.
But anything else really is up in the air. You know, at this stage, from what we've seen of BBL on their defensive side, now moving to the attack, a little bit more freedom for a lot of their players, a little bit more pressure.
And just a reminder, this was the pistol. Every single time I've seen them, they never check this corner. Like BBL, in terms of their positioning, have been so good, by the way. Over towards B, close, this corner as well, just not getting checked. Like they're in all the right positions. They're not going to push the shorty though, right? Okay, well. Wait, Sagetsu swung with the shorty?
2 matches, you're out. 2 matches, you're in the playoffs, unless you're Fnatic, in which case it can be 1. Either way. It's
Yeah, that's out in the
pretty
open.
bleak. Pistol round in a good spot. Plenty of utility.
Insta defuse. We've got a smoke for this. Doesn't look like it. Damage. Yeah, it doesn't
he's
even
not
get
surviving
half.
that one.
And that's a lovely
Getting anyone onto
flash.
this spike is going to be imperative. Running out of time to do anything, and now it's left all onto Artist.
They
He's
actually
back on the
really
board, but he's
need
gotta
Artist to
figure out
clutch
where
this.
Brave is. Knows it now, but the time
Time?
is ticking. The time is gone. He needs this kill immediately, and it is not
Holy,
happening.
double
Another round
pistol.
on the board. Brave will seal it, and BBL,
Double
they're
pistol.
running away with this game.
Yeah, and this looks frustrating as hell. Some of these rounds. Riazi had a really nice flash on this, by the way. Like, really nice flash. Timing on it was perfect.
That's all they needed. The extra
Dude, Sugetsu there maybe got baited in by the other steps, thinking that no one was around the corner.
Despite a good performance in the pistol from Artis, we need to see them answer up, not in the next round, because, well, they're going to be playing pistols most likely. BBL, 90% of the way to having 10 on the board. And then they're in the home stretch. Very worrying times for So Marcus in the crowd.
Shout. Fallenworth on that gets an orb. He also has the gun that allows him most likely to snowball into getting an ult early on.
Don't make him cry already. It's his first day back. Like, come on.
They don't go easy.
Not on Marcus, at least.
Nor do BBL, from what we've seen so far. They've been playing one hell of a game, and this is the squad that we were hoping to see last year. You know, I think for BBL, not making it to international events and whatever, that aside, it's about being competitive on the server, and I feel like they fell flat in a number of games last year. If they can keep up this kind of performance,
Stack is going to be here in time over towards A.
This was the proper rebuild. This is where the fan favorites unfortunately had to go.
Wait, chat, is this right? I thought BBL picked this map.
Make things competitive. Have joined the roster.
Well, you guys said it was the other way around.
Leaves very little
Could
to
have
be
read
desired.
wrong, to be honest.
Dizzy going through. It has left players blind, but they just don't have the weaponry to compete at this stage. Being slaughtered
Navi pick bind. Oh, okay. Then BBL just have their home ground.
A few kills along the way.
Okay, lovely. A little bit of damage done from Navi. They should be happy. Shao, honestly wasn't paying attention to see if he got a kill or not.
Yeah, perfectly reasonable, level-headed round for the side of BBL. 10 rounds on the board like we expected, and now the chance for Navi to fight back. They're one away from an orbital strike. They're getting rifles on the board, and the investments are going to be...
No, that's what I was talking about, Kaya. I was like, that's madness to pick it into them.
This is a true bonus round for
It was in the graphic, so maybe they got the graphic wrong. But yeah, this actually makes way more sense in terms of the map pick. Because Navi picking this would have been madness.
The other thing as well, unfortunately for them, is you look down at the
must win first buy round for Navi. They would go down to an eco. It would be 12-4, and it would be an absolute slaughter.
But realistically, you see the challenge coming through on B long from Navi.
Why do people not play chamber? I think not believers, man.
Early on in this round, just look at not
many people are believers.
Just keep that control.
There's only a few of
They'll
us.
leave Shao behind, at least for now, just placing smokes and not allowing any real positioning. But after the early show over on that A site, BBL are going to start making their way back. And that's the thing, when you find that control...
Tell you what though, sometimes chamber on this map on attack can be a disaster.
Playing into this in the late round, just look at that rotation already. You can see.
Okay, Molly's over towards site. This is the one that kind of leaks over. Oh, we have the double, just side by side. Yeah, and they leave the site here. But we also have a fast flank, and we have no sentinels to give them early information. So it's a nice exec, and honestly, Navi did good to leave this site. But we'll keep an eye on Shao's ult as well. Shao doesn't want to stop the plant, wants to wait for his team, and does Pora get into this corner?
Pora's managed to sneak his way into a position you might not expect. They've just taken the site, remember? They're clearing it, but only half. And now there's a rifle on the floor. They weren't going together either. Remember, we didn't just see Zipan here. Earlier on, Artis was by his side, but having split up, he'll now make his way through long. A flash close for Angel, with his players closer than he expects. Luckily, Brave is dropped. Navi still alive in this
lovely
round,
Brimble. A lot of this is on Pora. Pings? Yeah, but pings for little bro. Okay, nicely done in the end from Navi. I was worried, but the ult was really good. 3 armor rebuys, 1 gun rebuy.
That's exactly what we need.
Still a very good low buy from BBL here.
Yeah, even still though, it's a good sign for the sort of beginning stages of the half of BBL that they're able to almost play their opponents like that. I do think they'll be a little bit disappointed, though, that you're from a 5v4, you don't do any extra damage. Like, that's got to be infuriating. Okay, you bait out the orbital strike, but that's probably one of the reasons why Xiao was actually happy to leave. It's like, okay, we can clear a very big angle of this, and if they made it just a little bit more sketchy, they could have easily won that one.
Well, early strat here seems to be B-centric. 3 players
Flash
here.
goes in. That's kind of nice. And yeah, they're big believers and big users of the flash to set up the flash. But I will say that is Ardis' only flash into this one. A little bit wrecked in terms of the money. Him again.
BBL were a little quicker than expected. They're already breaching into the site.
But there's DRX smoke over towards the site, so it's always really hard. And the good thing about the DRX smoke is you can normally delay so that these smokes are gone. And then you have to try take back site.
Sagetsu's going off on site. A quick double and a real chance for Navi now.
Oh, that's a sick molly.
Down,
yeah, that's a good molly.
And make it so uncomfortable for BBL, forcing them into individual duels that they are not winning. At least they weren't. Elite has stepped up to the plate, but 3 more hostiles to eliminate.
Well, he's actually going to stick it. Just needing to get that plant down. They've been struggling to do that for the past minute. But eventually, they found it. Finally, Xiao can make his rotation after waiting patiently for a player to head through the TP. Ardis hoping to find someone with a pre-fire, but that clock's starting to tick. They need to get a move on. Kushner just can't quite land the shot, and now Elite with everything left to do. He's been great so far, but this would have to be
nice
the
cleanup
best
from
of the
them.
bunch. It is going to be another round of this climb
2-4 loss
Navi.
Bonus for BBL, and after BBL see this round here, and basically with the DRX smoke over towards middle, over towards this plant spot here, just means you have to have more pressure over towards showers. Like you have to have showers control, else you can't really get a plant.
Another kill for Zipan, then they waited for Xiao to rotate
so
in, so they'd have that
BBL
extra smoke
definitely have a good amount they can talk about, but it's a pretty known strat, and then most
body
people know
to
just
go
over
into
towards
those fights.
showers. It's
And
a
nobody
thing.
overextended, nobody gave those kills away, and that's exactly what BBL were waiting for. Waiting for your opponent to make a mistake, not a bad idea.
This is their last
They just
timeout,
showed
right?
you they're
Or
playing a tight game,
am I
so
fully
BBL
wrong?
call
Might
a
be the
pause.
fast.
Now it's time for
I
them
can't
to bring
remember.
their A game to the server.
No, I think it's important, especially on the attack side of this map. Like, we've seen a few teams recently run a lot more attack-sided compositions, like throwing in extra duelists, throwing in like Yorus and stuff to bypass a lot of the utility. That's not really the case for BBL. Okay, you have the breach, which definitely gives you a little bit more in terms of setup, but when you have that Sky, especially now that it's been nerfed that little bit extra, you're going to be looking at, okay, you have a couple of flashes per round, they're not going to regenerate into the late round, so you can't have these extra little burst plays, and also the main reason you'd have it is for the defensive side information. So it's going to be interesting to see how they actually get things moving. And it can very easily get out of control, especially with a team like Navi. Let's be real.
Damn, other coaches right now screenshotting,
but they are never
enlarge the image.
Getting in that early pause, I respect it from the coach.
What notes do we got?
Have to look at what they're going to come in with here, because they're not going to be buying. They don't really have much to play with. We've seen a few pistol plays here and there. Pora especially has been sublime. But can they pull anything out of the hat to just get them closer, get them to that 11th? Because if they win this map, they're heading on to Ascent, which, as said, no one wanted to play them on Ascent. Literally no one. Yeah. I think they're one of the only teams who actually take a map off Fnatic, right? It was insane.
Yeah, you're right, actually.
Flash goes in.
And you know, considering how the previous season went for them,
and let's see what BBL can do, because they don't really have to do too much to get these 3 ults online.
And for Navi, they've taken the risk. If it doesn't go well
they do walk up over towards here. They're going to see Derek's smoke again, but this is kind of nice. So they realize that they can get free shower lamps control, but this time they're probably going to have a late lurk over towards showers.
Because teams were just destroying on these kind of buys. Add to that, it's a Turkish team attack side grouped together.
Yeah, and when does Kushner decide to go?
But it's the recovery that can come into play, something like Thrash.
Hey, this is nice. BBL just waiting out all this util, making it expensive. Kushner picks up the orb. That's his ult. That's a kill. Oh, that's a nice trade as well. That's double guns down. Ardis does good because he can hold that line as well. Pick up one of the guns, not the other one. Spike in the corner.
Yeah. Horrible spot. Like, just getting that out of this corner is not going to be easy whatsoever. But you're basically going to have to push into the rifles, and I don't really see how they're going to be able to get that back without basically eliminating.
Lovely round from Ardis. I tell you what, those are very nice low buy from BBL. It's really good eco.
Somewhat starting to stabilize after what was again a very shaky position, but you have to bear in mind as well, Showstopper used. The other thing though is, ultimate-wise, it is still very much in BBL's favor. Viper's Pit, Seekers, Orbital Strike
Get a hold of your mods. They're ruining the experience. Bro, if you want to talk shit, like, just go somewhere else. I don't care. Like, you're probably literally under plat in the game. You have no idea what you're talking about. You're just out here flaming people. Like, get a grip, bro. It's crazy. Like, any other stream allows all the flaming. Go somewhere else.
Look, it didn't pay off with a round win. Some damage. Maybe some information that they got from how this A-hold is.
Like, you literally have no idea what you're talking about, so it's so pointless.
Oh, Ziphan's having a nightmare today.
You can tell he's been practicing his Raze utility. That's
Lovely flash. Holy hell.
Nice shot by Ziphan. He might not have the util down.
This was nice as well, like a little trap play. Yeah.
That's a good one.
It kind of Did they have a molly all the way from... Wait, chat, I need to watch that round again. How is there a molly perfectly here? Was that through the TP? Through the TP?
With BBL falling to pieces, Pora and Elite left to pick those up. And what a task that is. Great flash coming out of Artis from the side. It popped, it pushed him back. And really, I don't know what the plan. There is no correct call. Roll the D20 and see where you're going.
Yeah, that was really nice. The punish over towards Showers here. And they have to save on this one. And I tell you what though, if you're BBL, you're feeling actually alright. Because they're kind of far away from a lot of
just to check, that's just
it was thrown from under hookah.
Yes,
right? You're calling D20.
Custom Lord of the Rings one from the
Magic
set.
But yeah, no, that's really cool.
Thank you. Everyone always says that. Looks
Lauren
like
said that as well, didn't she?
She loves it. It might be able to take this weapon out of Elite's hands, but I don't know if they're going to quite suspect him to be that far down. 6 seconds left. Angel's on his way. Could be a weapon taken, and indeed it is. Now Pora wants to...
It's a good stun.
This is oh, great stun. They're all in an alley, but they're surrounding it. Damage, but that's not really the name of the game now with Navi's economy. For BBL, they wanted those weapons, and that's good denial from Navi.
Yeah, they need a combo breaker. And as said, they have the ultimates to do it. Everything other than the showstopper is now online.
Yeah, sure. I think that's the rule, Nations.
Honestly, we needed it. He deserves it.
Yeah, and it was a good time to use all the ults because it was such a big buy round, but...
100%.
He's gonna hate us too.
I'm actively praying nobody sends him these clips.
Let's put it this way. Doombros, I know you're watching this back. Don't show it.
Don't tell him.
Okay, BBL now. Low
Low
buy, but next buy is going to be outrageous for them. 1, 2, 3, 4 ults.
Please don't do it.
Angel getting the orb over towards long, trying to get his ult up as fast as possible. Minty with the tier 1, thank you so much.
Some ultimates, again, it's just not the round we expect to see that used in. Reezy has managed to get a plant for free. You can see the respect Navi are giving them.
I'm actually quite surprised they haven't thrown in the Viper's Pit here, but instead it's going to be post-plant, and they do have a lot of post-plant utility available.
Yeah, and we're using this into the low buy, so this could be a big win for Navi if they win this.
The whole thing is on the time. It's delay. It's try and burn that clock down.
Yeah, and Brave has his ult and a molly. There goes the ult. He has a molly to follow this up, probably perfect timing. And then we have double Viper molly. Should be done. Where's the Brim molly? Here's the Brim molly, and then here comes the Viper molly, and that is done. That is a perfect round. Close. Yeah, molly's too much damage. Respect. That's a sick round.
It is an ult spam, util spam round from BBL, and it is beautiful.
That was so
That was sick. Yeah, they're drilled, man.
Fully get it either. It was half on the spike, so that could have been a disaster if someone just stuck it underneath. But then the snake bites come down as they get on it, take down 2 players who are just desperately trying to beat the mathematics. But stats don't lie. You will die in that snake bite before you get it half. We know that, and now you do too. Unlucky 11-8 BBL looking unreal. What a round. It is surprising Navi gave them
really
so much space. Unfortunate for Navi that they took so long to get back in. That Rolling Thunder though bought so much time.
I also want to say as well, like, out of all the teams historically, that's not a BBL round.
No,
that's not something
no.
When we talk about BBL, we
I
talk
think that's
about
a Twitch thing,
JCL. And headshots. Like, those are the things
yeah.
that we talk about. So already just a different look from this squad, something that they clearly had in the idea bank. But also,
without the orb, you can stick it through the molly, the Viper molly, yeah.
They had to just use 3 of the 4 ultimates they have. The only one left is the Viper's Pit. So that is an expensive round.
Yeah.
Bear in mind, okay, weaponry-wise, they didn't have as much as they needed, but they can't do that again. They can't do that again
That's
until
a
Navi get
1-13-3.
probably to 11, maybe even 12. So they need to have something else a little bit more in this attack set, because right now they've won the pistol the second round, and that is it.
Yeah, and a miracle.
And they're essentially giving BBL time to talk here as well. Yeah, but you gotta focus on yourself, especially when that's happening. Like, especially when we have stuff like this and we know that they have that much util for the afterplant, you're more likely to be pushing behind now in some of these rounds. I know they don't have the ults to repeat that, but they gotta at least be aware that they need to tap the spike way earlier or start flanking behind. You got no sentinels on this, so they could start getting a little bit aggro. Maybe not now because it's too obvious, but maybe like 2 rounds. Fine.
slows it a little bit. His teammate's not as close.
Oh, that's actually a really good knife. The no info just lets you know that most likely you're thinking it's like a 4-1.
Potential TP? I mean, they're going to just burst out long. Yeah, they are.
Because there's a lot of sound here.
They don't have anyone there. Luckily,
the Getsu had no idea Poro's in the corner. And Ardis is on his own. He's got to get out of there. 1, 2, 3 with the TP? No, 2 people TP.
With the majority of players spotted, smoke off into Hookah and a little bit of a
Viper ult to secure this.
Angel, but they now use that final ult of the collection to get themselves.
Okay, they now hit 3 TP, so they decide to take elbow. Bro, their util's really good.
A nice try by Ardis. I think there's nothing else he really could have done there. With Brave falling. Could be something to report home about, but it's the problem is right here and now. Thrash goes in. Okay, you've got Kushner, but there's players close, ready to defend. They got baited in.
They're good with this, though. The cover is insane.
No chance. Hit that TP, save the weapon, and hope you can win 4 rounds in a row.
Yeah, 4 chances, and their money, at least Ardis's money, is not good.
This is a terrifying time to be a Navi fan.
Yeah, and
4 chances, and we got the Ascent for BBL next as well. It's a rough spot to be in.
Navi knew from the knife that was thrown out from Ardis, there was no one in Hookah. Yeah. So they were able to focus in on that.
Yeah, dude, he was just out in the open. He had no idea they were walking close.
It didn't matter, because Poro wins that opening duel, and the second they get into the close part, that's where they have their ideas. That's where they have the, okay, I'm going to bait for you, you're going to work with me, because we know what ultimates they have online. Sometimes that's all it takes. Keep it simple. Do something to work off the trading. The fundamentals for BBL right now looking good. And wow, at 12-8, their opponent's map choice, 1 round away from taking the lead and going on to
Brave 1 away from his ult if they want to go get an AWP. They take fast showers control.
I bet a lot. This is a very tough
and this
position.
Is a free AWP if they want it.
It is not going to be easy, at least for BBL. Like we said, they won that miracle round. They won a round where they 5B, get the opening trade, and Viper's Pit down. And perfectly bait the jump out of Hookah. Again, we need to see that normal round, or hey, just 1 more random. Save up those ults, do whatever you want. 4 chances to close this out. They've made their decisions, and the decision is to move towards A, taking
Lovely
down
stun.
on the way in. It's
keep an eye on the TP.
For the side of Navi.
And if Brim gets this plant, that's all. Wait, did he get a kill already? Okay. Ignore me. He has his ult anyway.
He's got some support up top. Ardis primed with a flash.
They at least have the pressure behind, so they can't do after plants. Man, this should be done. This is done. 2v4. We still got Viper Molly, got Brim ult.
They can find something, but he's stuck up in heaven, and he's being watched on the way out. They want to take these fights. The second that they get contact on Reezy, the swing will come through. And I don't see a way that this goes towards Navi. The time already ticking so far. Brave still has orbital strike, and it might not be used. It certainly won't be needed. That time.
Bro's just holding on to this ult. Damn, no, they look good. They look good with this.
Another upset for EMEA's kickoff.
Yeah, the util especially. Very drilled on this map.
The Turkish map up next.